Hey, this is Rick Kasalich, injury specialist from exercisesforinjuries.com. In today's video, I wanted to answer a customer question, which is, does foam rolling help with sciatica? And the answer is yes, but you need to avoid these two mistakes in order for it to be beneficial. Now, the first mistake ends up being people end up focusing on just targeting the piriformis muscle. So I'll get Jenna to demonstrate the foam rolling exercise that targets the piriformis. So if we're gonna target the right side, good. Yeah, you're gonna sit on the foam roller. You're gonna cross over the right leg, and then you're gonna lean into that foam roller, and then you're gonna just roll in the small area around that piriformis, which ends up being around that hip joint, and you're just going to rock back and forth, and that ends up targeting the piriformis. When it comes to the foam roller, you can play around with the angle that it ends up being at. You can end up keeping it at 90 or 45, or what I end up finding it to be most effective is at this 45-degree angle. It really ends up hitting that piriformis. Now, this ends up being the mistake. People end up just focusing in on the piriformis muscle, and they might be missing a couple of those techniques in targeting it properly. What you need to do is focus around the piriformis, and one area ends up being hitting the hamstrings. So I would end up foam rolling out the hamstrings, good. And so this ends up being a 3-foot foam roller. You don't need a foam roller that large. You can end up utilizing a 1-foot. And so then Jenna here is foam rolling out the hamstrings. So you'd roll through the whole belly up to the hip joint, good. And then roll back down and just move to just above the knee joint, and you'd roll back and forth. Now, looking at the sets, reps, and time that I end up getting people to do intensity, sets end up being 1, repetitions end up being 5. And what a repetition is up the muscle and down the muscle. Time ends up being a smooth, controlled movement, and the intensity, you want to feel like that muscle ends up being massaged. That ends up applying for both of them, the hamstring and the piriformis foam rolling exercise. Now, the second mistake that people end up doing is they don't end up removing the cause that has ended up leading to the sciatica. So you need to go and find out what is exactly causing your sciatica. It could end up being poor stability of the hip. It could be that you end up crossing your legs too much. It could end up being that you end up having poor mobility or movement in the low back. So you need to address the actual cause of your sciatica, and that will end up helping speed up your recovery. So there you go. Make sure the foam roller will end up helping you when it comes to sciatica, but make sure that you don't make those two mistakes that I talked about. Now, if you are suffering from back pain, what I recommend for you to do is click right here. I have a brand new free report called 5 Tricks That Fight Back Pain and Tightness. Just click right here. Let me know where to send that report, and I'll send you that report right away. Now, if you're watching this on a mobile device, tablet, smartphone, head down below in the description and click the first link, which will end up being exercisesforinjuries.com/backs. Let me know where to send that report, and I'll send you that report right away. Now, if you got benefit from this video, make sure to like this video. If you have a question or comment for me, leave it down below in the comment section. And then lastly, hit subscribe in order to get future pain relieving exercises.